Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Well, are you a spender or a saver? According to Scarborough, a marketing research firm, only 9% of U.S. adults label themselves as spenders. Means 91% say they're not mostly spenders. In fact, 29% say they are flat out savers. Now, I guess that would mean the 62% in between would say they're pretty balanced. They spend, but they also save. Well, given these numbers, you would think that most adults in this country have a pretty healthy savings account, that most all have the 6 months to 1 year of emergency funds to replace a lost job, and are well on their way to retirement. Unfortunately, that's not the case. According to a report released in March 2013 by the Employees Benefit Research Institute, 57% of U.S. workers have less than $25,000 in total household investment in savings. That doesn't include the value of their homes. Only 9% of Americans have saved over $100,000 for any purpose. Social Security Administration says 34% of American workers don't even have anything set aside for retirement. So something doesn't quite add up here. Either a lot of Americans are unwilling to admit that they're really spenders, or they're so poor they can't afford to save, or a lot of Americans are delusional. Or maybe it's because a lot of us have different definitions of what savings is. So I thought of a few money habits that might encourage people to think of themselves as savers, but don't necessarily add up to mean that they really are successful savers. First one is buying things on sale. Now, waiting for discounts on items you need and want is wise and a standard practice for frugal shoppers, but you're not a saver if you buy bargains you don't need, might not even really want or can't afford. So maybe that $150 pair of shoes is on sale for half price, yet if they'll just sit in your closet, you haven't saved $75, you spent $75. Next is the thought of having money in the bank. And yeah, putting money into a savings account is the first place to start savings and a great habit to teach your kids. But once you've accumulated an emergency fund, keeping your money in the bank, that's not a good savings habit. Why? Over time, savings accounts and CDs don't pay enough to even keep pace with inflation. Money in the bank might be safe, but it really isn't an investment because it's not growing. Now, mutual funds that include a well-diversified range of investments are far better places for your long-term retirement savings. Another item might be not spending anything. You might think, well, if I don't spend anything, I've got to be a saver. Well, there's times choosing to not spend your money is only going to cost you more money later. Failing to maintain your car or do home repairs are two common non-spending habits that may seem like saving, but actually turn into even more spending. Another is not saving for yourself first. The time-tested advice to pay yourself first usually means taking money off the top for savings before you spend anything. Yet, this has another application as well. Make saving and investing for your own retirement your first priority. It needs to come ahead of saving for your kids' college educations, weddings, or first homes. And you might say, Rick, that seems pretty selfish and greedy. But in fact, it's quite the opposite. When you provide for your own financial well-being in retirement, your kids won't end up having to help you pay your bills. And studies show it will cost kids 5 times as much to take care of parents that didn't take care of themselves in retirement than to have paid for their own college tuition. When we're asked to label ourselves, it's normal to tend to choose answers that fit the way we would like to think of ourselves. I'm sure most of us would prefer to think of ourselves as savers rather than spenders. But becoming successful savers starts with not just the money habits that we wish we had, but the money habits we actually practice. Thanks for joining me.